The rich military tradition of fife, drum, and bugle corps may date back to ancient times, but the rhythm, so evocative of summer woodcraft memories at Culver, owes its origins particularly to the convergence of its storied Boy Scouting legacy and traditions, begun at the end of World War I. The Culver Woodcraft Drum and Bugle Corps started as the camp's Fife and Drum Corps in 1915, a reflection of the heritage of such organizations in the Civil War and other conflicts. Those traditions were prevalent in the mind of the Woodcraft camp's first director, legendary Boy Scouts of America co-founder Dan Beard. That 1915 iteration of what would become the Woodcraft D&B included 6 members. By 1919, the name and ethos of the musical backbone of the camp had evolved to its present Drum and Bugle Corps. The role of such units in military combat worldwide had been altered by the advent of radio communications, so that by World War I, drum and bugle equipment was being distributed to scouting groups, veterans organizations like the American Legion, and the civic groups across the U.S. for solemn occasions, parades, and a growing range of competitive activities that still thrive today. Initially, much like the Culver Military Academy Band, the Woodcraft Drum and Bugle Corps was drawn from various divisions, though by 1922 the D&B was attached to the camp's 2nd Battalion and was composed of 20 members. By 1924, the camp's musical outfit was attached to Division I, and its numbers were growing, with 35 members referenced in 1925. A milestone was reached in 1936, when the D&B became the separate, distinct unit it remains today, its members listed for the first time as a standalone unit, housed in their own area with their own divisional leadership. Numbers were growing as well. By 1946, the D&B boasted 64 members, swelling to 78 by 1947. The Drum and Bugle Corps' appeal went beyond the camp, or even the entire campus as well. During the summer of 1933, the D&B, along with the Summer Troop and Naval Band, was invited to be part of the opening ceremonies of the World's Fair in Chicago, exposing them to an audience of grand proportions. Even more prestigious was the distinction of joining the Naval Band in playing for President Johnson for Indiana's sesquicentennial celebration in 1966, and the D&B performed before a wide variety of dignitaries and notables during garrison parades through the past century. More recently, tens of thousands were treated to D&B performances starting in the 1970s, with appearances at Chicago White Sox home Comiskey Park and Great America in Chicago, in addition to a litany of local and regional parades. Many notable alums were part of the D&B, including George Steinbrenner, a 1944 Woodcraft graduate and 3-year D&B member, and Roger Pinsky, a 1950 Woodcraft grad and drum major his final year. The D&B legacy grew richer in 2011 when, for the very first time, girls of the Woodcraft camp played and marched as members of the D&B. And so, with participation and interest greater than ever, the Drum and Bugle Corps stands ready for another century as the drumbeat of the Culver Woodcraft experience.